Let me say something that might sting a little. You don't feel behind because your life is actually empty. You feel behind because you keep measuring your private storms against someone else's public weather. You see their smile, their dinner table, their clean little vacation picture, their glowing relationship post, and something inside you tightens, not loudly, quietly, like a hand closing around your chest. And before you even realize it, your mind whispers, "Look, everyone figured it out except you." And honestly, that thought can feel so convincing, because when you're sitting alone with your own tiredness, your own doubts, your own unanswered prayers, other people's happiness starts looking like evidence against you. Their life becomes the courtroom. Their smile becomes the witness. Their success becomes the proof that something must be wrong with yours. You don't just think they're happy, you start believing life gave them something it forgot to give you. But here's where the illusion begins. You are not actually seeing their life. You are seeing a polished window, a few seconds of light, a carefully chosen angle, and then your mind takes that tiny fragment and builds a whole fantasy around it. It fills in the silence. It invents the peace. It imagines they sleep better, love easier, wake up lighter, never question themselves, never feel lost at 2 a.m. And the painful part is not even the image itself. The painful part is what you do with it. You turn it into a story about you. Somewhere deep inside the human mind, there is a very old belief. Most people never say it out loud, but they live from it every day. The belief is this: life is supposed to make me happy, and if I'm not happy, life is failing me. So when the message doesn't come, when the money feels tight, when your plans fall apart, something in you doesn't just feel pain, it feels betrayed. You start asking, why me? Not always dramatically. Sometimes it's subtle. You're washing a cup, walking home, scrolling in bed, watching someone else get the thing you begged the universe for, and there it is again. That small ache underneath everything. Why does happiness look like it keeps passing your door and knocking somewhere else? But life was never designed to be a vending machine, where you put in enough effort, enough goodness, enough waiting, and eventually happiness drops out perfectly wrapped. That's the misunderstanding. Life is not withholding happiness from you, like a cruel parent hiding candy on a high shelf. Life is doing something stranger, deeper, and at first, much more uncomfortable. Life is trying to wake you up, and waking up rarely feels like getting everything you want. Most of the time, it feels like losing the fantasy that what you wanted was going to save you. The mind loves to believe, once this changes, then I'll be okay. Once you get the relationship, once your body looks different, once you have more money, once your life looks more like their life. But every time happiness depends on an outside condition, you place your peace in a room you don't have the key to. Maybe that's why comparison hurts so much. It's not just jealousy. It's not just insecurity. It's the pain of worshipping an image and then feeling rejected by it. You see someone else holding the thing you think will complete you, and for a moment, you forget your own soul. You leave your center and run toward the screen like it has the final answer. But the screen never answers. It only keeps showing you more faces, more proof that the world is moving, while you are somehow still waiting. Pain has a strange way of making you think you're failing. When you're struggling, you assume struggle means something has gone wrong. But look at almost anything that grows. Not the pretty version, the real version. A seed doesn't become a tree because the soil is comfortable. It becomes a tree because something in it is pushed. cracked, stretched, and forced to reach. There's a difference between punishment and pressure. Punishment says, you deserve pain. Pressure says, there is more inside you than your current shape can hold. And when life brings you situations that disturb your comfort, it's easy to think life is against you. But sometimes, the thing disturbing your comfort is also disturbing your sleep. Imagine someone living in a small, dim room for years. At first, they hate it, but after a while, they get used to it. Then one day, someone opens the curtains, light floods in, and the person screams, because it hurts their eyes. To them, the light feels like an attack. But the light isn't attacking them. It's revealing the room. That's what suffering often does. It reveals the room you've been living in. The patterns, the attachments, the desperate need to be chosen, the habit of measuring yourself through other people's reactions. The problem is not always the situation. Pain says, this is happening. Suffering says, this should not be happening, and because it is, my life is ruined. That difference matters, because pain may pass through you like weather, but the story can become a house. You can move into it, decorate it, defend it, start introducing yourself through it, and before long, you're not just experiencing sadness, you're becoming the one who never gets happiness. You're not just having a hard season, you're becoming the person life forgot. That's how the mind creates itself out of wounds. But the moment you see this, something begins to loosen. Modern life has made pretending incredibly normal. People don't just live anymore. They curate. They choose the best angle, the best lighting, the 1 second where the room looked clean, the one laugh that looked effortless. So, when you scroll through other people's lives, remember what you're actually looking at. You're seeing the smile, not the argument before the photo, the relationship post, not the quiet resentment they don't know how to say out loud, the success announcement, not the panic that came after getting what they thought would finally make them feel enough. You're comparing your raw footage to someone else's trailer. Their trailer may be beautiful, but it is still not the whole film. There's a kind of sadness that doesn't come from missing out. It comes from being absent from your own life. You can have the phone in your hand, hundreds of people available, endless windows into other worlds, and still feel strangely homeless inside yourself. Because attention is energy. Wherever your attention goes, your life starts bending toward it. Keep staring at everyone else's joy, and your own inner garden becomes neglected. Not because you're weak, because whatever you feed grows. If you feed comparison, it grows teeth. If you feed resentment, it starts sounding wise. If you feed presence, even for a few moments a day, something calmer starts returning. A powerful shift happens when you stop asking, why is life not making me happy, and start asking, what is life trying to make conscious in me? Same situation, different eyes, and different eyes can change the entire world. The difficult person becomes a mirror. The delay becomes a teacher. The loss becomes an opening. The insecurity becomes a doorway into a part of you that has been asking for care, not criticism. Maybe the people who seem happier than you are not your enemies. Maybe they're not even the point. Maybe they're just mirrors, revealing where you still believe peace must come from outside, where you still think being chosen will heal your abandonment, where you still think success will heal your worthlessness, where you still think being admired will finally make you feel real. But what if nothing outside you can complete the part of you that was never actually missing? What if the ache you feel while watching others is not proof that they have more life, but proof that you've been looking away from your own? Come back, not when everything is fixed, not when you look better, not when your life becomes impressive. Now, in the middle of the unfinished room, in the body you criticize, in the season you don't understand, in the silence after disappointment, come back to the simple fact that you are here, breathing, aware, alive. There is a light in you that does not need applause to exist. And when you begin to live from that place, life doesn't instantly become perfect, but it becomes less hostile. Someone else's happiness doesn't feel like an accusation anymore. Their joy can just be their joy. Their timing can just be their timing. It doesn't have to mean anything about your worth.